And let's turn our attention now to our live political analyst here, Dr. Paul Baumgardner.
He is an assistant professor of political science at Augustana College. Good evening, Paul. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Hello.
So our first question, Paul, you just hopefully heard Jenna talk a little bit about some of these early results. I'm curious what you are looking at tonight, especially early on in the night.
Yeah, so some of the early exit polls I'll be very interested in, right? We want to see the kinds of issues that voters are prioritizing. So over the past few months, Democrats, both at the national level but also at the state level, have just been prioritizing different kinds of issues in their ads and in their outreach to voters than Republicans have. So an early tell, 6, 7, 8 o'clock for how things are going between the different parties is looking to see what the exit polls are telling us about the issues being prioritized by those voters.
Paul, when you're looking at races across the country, you had mentioned to us last week that most congressional competitions aren't that close at all. So what does it say to you that we have two highly competitive races in this area on both sides of the river here?
Yeah, we really are in a unique situation. So there are 435 voting members of the U.S. House of Representatives, but many Americans need to know that of those 435 districts, the overwhelming majority are not competitive districts, right? It's largely a one-party district. The Republican Party dominates regularly, or the Democratic Party dominates regularly. The fact that we're situated in a part of the country where we actually see very competitive races, very close races, means there's not just a lot of state attention, but a lot of national attention to our area. I mean, let's not forget that in 2020, now Representative Miller Meeks won only by 6 votes, but almost 400,000 votes cast, right? So it can be razor thin. And there's a good possibility that either here on the Illinois side or on the Iowa side, we may see some very close races.
So, Professor, I imagine all scenarios at this point, early in the night, are still in play. What does it look like if Congress sort of goes one way versus the other? And what does that mean for whomever is the eventual president?
Yeah, great question. So there's so much attention tonight on who's going to take the White House, right? Is it going to be Donald Trump? Is it going to be Kamala Harris? One thing that political scientists oftentimes focus on isn't just who wins the presidential race, but who takes the House and who takes the Senate alongside who takes the White House, right? Because governing during unified government is just a lot different than governing during divided government. And if you look at the first term of the last 3 presidents, what happened when Barack Obama was ushered in 2008? What happened when Donald Trump was ushered in 2016? What about Joe Biden in 2020? They didn't just win, but their party also took control of the House and the Senate, right? So right now, I think a lot of people are watching not just who is going to win the White House, but also, are the Republicans going to keep control of the House? What's going to happen in the Senate? Is either party going to have unified government by January? That's a huge question.
We'll continue to watch that all night long. Professor, thank you so much for being here. We'll come back to you later tonight. Speaking of that, starting at 8 o'clock tonight, join us for our live, local, commercial-free election coverage on the WQAD 8+ app. This app is free to download on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV.